Welcome, good people of Gotham City and Eternia. Today I'm going to review for the Batman Statue Collector channel the amazing life-size Skeletor bust from Tweeterhead. So bear with me. I really don't want to move this piece. It is now officially, I believe, the heaviest piece that I own. Thing is definitely well over 50 plus pounds. I'm sure of it. So bear with me a little bit because I really don't want to be jostling it around and everything, but I will take the phone, the camera, get some close-ups of it, get some close-ups of the different elements and everything. But before I do that, just a little bit about the piece. So it does measure in at 29 inches high and about 31 inches wide, I believe. This thing is just massive. It comes in a massive box. There is no art box for it, and I'm personally okay with that. I'm not going to do anything with an art box anyway. They frankly just sit in a storage area. But it does come with a cool a certificate of authenticity that Tweeter had put in there. I did get number 388 of 1,000. And wow, this piece is just absolutely incredible. The sculpt on it is amazing. It doesn't look any different than the prototype that Tweeterhead showed when they first indicated that they were going to be doing that piece. It looks the same as, you know, the pieces that you see. Chris took some photos of what was just a San Diego Comic-Con. You know, it's just, I mean, Tweeterhead continues to knock it out of the park. The sculpt, the face is so menacing. The teeth are done really well. The eyes. There is a cloth cape, and then there is also a cloth hood. David Igo is mad at me because I cannot pose it very well, although I think I've got it better here than in my initial pictures. Again, I'm trying to use some of the pictures from, what was it, Sideshow to kind of form that hood a little bit better. So it does have wire material in here around the opening of the hood so that you can pose that a little bit. So I continue to work and play with that a little bit to try and get that right. The hood is removable, so you can also tip the hood back and then get a full picture of the skull. And again, I'll get some close-ups here shortly. What's really cool about this is you can see like the different greens and yellows, and it's just a really beautiful color. Very creepy. What you would anticipate from the colors that you would see on Skeletor based on his original action figure. So just beautifully done. There's also some different marks in the cranium, again, for how you would kind of expect a human skull to potentially look, or if it had damage or things like that. So really cool. The armor on it, this armor, everything is fully sculpted, by the way, except for the cloth cape and the cloth hood. The armor on it matches the original, or matches at least really well, the original Sideshow Collector 1/5 scale piece. I think it matches well the new piece that they showed at San Diego Comic-Con as a prototype. The one big difference, I would say, a little bit of a different bat design. The red jewel on the Sideshow 1/5 scale piece, there is a skull there, and this is definitely the more traditional style with the red jewel. Kind of a snake mountain motif on the base. It's just this dark sort of gray granite looking wall, like it, kind of sitting on Snake Mountain base, if you will, with some orange in there for like lava / fire from Snake Mountain. So really cool. I mean, just the detail on just the sculpt of the body, the torso. He's even got, his lats back here. It's a thick piece as well, so it's about 17 inches deep or so, and really just phenomenal. I mean, what else can you say about this particular piece other than Tweeterhead continues to knock it out of the park? The shoulder gauntlets are metal, or I'm sorry, not metal, excuse me, are sculpted as well. And so those are solid pieces. When it comes shipped, the shoulder guards are not in the piece, and then when you take it out of the package, there's 2 back pieces of the armor that do come off, and then you can put the shoulder guards on and then put the pieces back. They key in with a really big keys. One of them's, you know, like this long, and the other one's about like this. Really strong magnets on them. Again, super heavy piece. I'm going to take the camera and get you guys some closer looks at some of the detail on this, and we'll do that. So here we go. Getting that in here. Again, you can see the detail on the skull there. The teeth look really menacing and really cool. And then you can definitely see it's got the red glowing eyes. They do not light up or anything like that, but I don't think they need to. I think that would honestly detract from the brilliance of the sculpt if they did. And then, again, you can kind of see some of the detail, some of the detail in the skull that I was talking about with some of the cracks and the hairlines and the way that you would expect a skull to potentially look clinically. So really, really cool. And again, you can pull that hood all the way back to show the full skull. And then the body armor. So you kind of have that bat motif in the front of the armor, along with the crossbones and that red jewel that is sparkly. And then you've got the detail on the armor that attaches all the way around to the back, and I will get to that. I'll show you guys. Then you can see on the shoulder guards here that there's a lot of detail sculpted into those shoulder guards. And then the back. And again, I'll take off some of these pieces so you can see them up close. But there's that. And so let me set the phone back down here, and then I can grab the armor pieces and bring those closer to show you those. So careful around everything here. So here's the back armor piece that goes around the neck and would protect his neck as a piece of armor. So you can see the detail in that. Really, really cool. Just a ton of detail in this thing. And this piece by itself is heavy. I'm going to set that to the side here for a second. And then you have this other neck piece. Again, protecting kind of his neck area. So these are big pieces. As you can see, more detail around the piece that would cover the back of his neck. And then I'll pull off one of the shoulder gauntlets to kind of show you what we're talking about here. So again, these are sculpted. And so there is the shoulder guards and what those look like. It's a very deep, dark purple. Love the color palette that they chose. Again, with the paint, there is no overspray. There's no streak. The actual sculpt here on the pads and on his chest piece up here, it looks like real leather. I mean, it looks like purple leather. It's insane the texture that they got on this. You would think that it was actually leather, it even has like a texture to it that way that even somewhat makes it feel like leather. So just brilliantly done. Great purples, great blacks, great grays, highlighted well. It's absolutely gorgeous. So the cape, I'll have to grab that here. It connects where the shoulder guards are. It's got these little just bands that wrap around the key. So I'm going to attempt to grab that, put that back on. And that's how the cape gets held in place. A little tricky, but not too bad. Just have to find the right key here. There we go. Key is on there now. So that's keyed back in. Let you be a little bit flexible with the cape. So if you want it all the way behind him, you can do that. If you want it to be out front a little bit, kind of billowing around him, you can do that. And we'll go ahead and put this back neck piece on. Before I do that, I'm gonna lift the hood, as it can kind of get in the way a little bit of the keys in that back area. So you want to make sure that you key this in properly. So if you're going to do that, make sure you've got that hood up and out of the way. And then the final back neck piece. Navigate this around here without breaking anything like an idiot. And keys right in there. And that holds everything right in place. So that does hold the shoulder pads as well. So the shoulder pads are huge keys. You don't need these to hold them in. You could literally display this piece without the cool neck carapace, but I don't know why you would. I suppose it's an option if you want to, because those keys are in the back, and you know, looking at it from the front, you would never see that. But you know, I suppose that's an option if you wanted to do that. But these are held, everything's held in place really nicely. So there's no worries about slippage or anything like that. Again, it's just an amazing piece. So I'm super happy. Another 10 out of 10 for Tweeterhead. David, don't yell at me too loud about the hood. I promise I'll get it right. Maybe when we meet at PowerCon, you can give me some pointers. I'm so excited for PowerCon. I'm so excited to what Tweeterhead might bring at PowerCon. And that's pretty much it now. Chris, we'll see you guys back in the Bat Cave, and I'll see you here in Grayskull.